arrive in Bangkok on 2nd November evening, and his first engagement will be to address the Indian community at the National Indoor Stadium in Bangkok. The Indian community in Thailand is about 250,000, and at the Indian community meeting, the Prime Minister would be releasing a commemorative coin marking the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and he would also be releasing a Thai translation of the Thirukkural, which is the great Tamil classic. On 3rd November, Prime Minister will participate in a business event. It is also the Golden Jubilee of the Aditya Birla Group in Thailand this year. Many of our reputed companies, Indian companies, have investments in Thailand, and Aditya Birla also has investments there, including in sectors like textile fabrics, chemicals, etc. Then on the second engagement of the Prime Minister would be to join in this ASEAN-India Summit, which he will co-chair with the Prime Minister of Thailand. The meeting will take stock of the progress made in the ASEAN-India relationship. Several initiatives of India are under implementation. For example, our offer and our commitment to offer 1,000 PhD scholarships for ASEAN students at IITs. Now that is actually under implementation. It was unveiled and its implementation began in September this year, when both External Affairs Minister and the Minister for Human Resource Development had jointly launched this initiative. This has a budget of about 300 crores, 300 crore rupees, and if I may say, this is the largest human resource development initiative for ASEAN by India, and indeed by any of ASEAN's dialogue partners. So this is something which has been offered to the ASEAN countries. Then we are also working on the establishment of centers for excellence in software development and training in the CMLV countries, and this is at a budget of about $8.6 million, and that is also being implemented. We are in close consultation with our ASEAN partners to identify specific projects under our $1 billion line of credit for our ASEAN country partners. Strengthening ASEAN and ASEAN-led mechanisms, enhancing connectivity, whether it is sea, land, air, digital, people-to-people, deepening our economic partnership, enhancing cooperation in the digital domain, including cybersecurity, and improving maritime cooperation are some of the key themes of India-ASEAN cooperation. The next day, on 4th of November, Prime Minister has 3 important engagements. Prime Minister will attend a special lunch hosted by the Thai Prime Minister for the leaders of the East Asia participating countries, and the leaders in this platform will exchange views on progressing the global sustainable development agenda. The theme of this has been chosen by Thailand. In fact, Thailand, under its chairmanship, is promoting the theme Advancing Partnerships for Sustainability. So we are also working to support this theme and contributing to the discussions that are taking place. And if you look at it specifically, Thailand with us co-hosted the India-ASEAN workshop on blue economy in September this year, in which the focus of discussion was sustainable use of marine resources. So we are working on the sustainability concept with Thailand. Separately, we welcome the ASEAN Outlook on Indo-Pacific, which was put out by the ASEAN and adopted by the ASEAN earlier this year. We see many elements of convergence with our own Indo-Pacific approach, and we look forward to working with ASEAN partners on furthering our Indo-Pacific cooperation. The second engagement Prime Minister has on 4th of November is the 14th East Asia Summit. As you would know, that the East Asia Summit is a leaders-led platform, and in that it is a platform where they hold discussions on various developments in the region, and it is also a confidence-building building mechanism in the region. If you look at it, the East Asia Summit membership is a very broad membership. Its members account for 54% of the world's population and over 58% of the GDP. So it is a very important platform where leaders meet and discuss. Much of the success of this platform is also because of the central role that the ASEAN countries play in it, and we acknowledge that role that the ASEAN countries play, and we always call for the centrality of ASEAN in our Indo-Pacific approach. The agenda for the forthcoming East Asia Summit is to review the future direction of EAS cooperation and exchange views on regional and international issues. The final engagement of Prime Minister will be the RCEP summit, where leaders will review the state of negotiations, which are ongoing in Bangkok currently and over the next few days. In addition, on the sidelines of the summit, Prime Minister will also have a number of bilateral meetings which are being worked out. On 4th evening itself, Prime Minister will return to New Delhi.